Right, Rock Addicts, this is DJ Rem from Rock Addict Radio, and I have Derek from the band Sintonik on the line. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, hanging out in my PJs on a lovely Saturday afternoon. How you doing?
I'm doing very well. It's a little cold and snowy here, but other than that, things are good.
Right on, right on. It's not too bad here in West Virginia where I live. We haven't had much snow, but it's not too bad of a day right now.
Okay, very good. So let's start, if you don't mind. Go ahead and introduce yourself and what your spot in the band is, and then if you could also introduce the other members that are not with us today.
My name is Derek DePrano. I'm the bassist and backing vocals / screamer for the band Sintonik. Kevin Owen, who is not with us, lead vocals for Sintonik. Anthony Maddox on guitars and backing vocals. Marcus Wells, the Michigan native, on guitars and vocals, and Chris Castro, also a Michigan native, drums and backing vocals.
You know what? I liked you before I started talking to you. Now I really love you guys.
Yeah.
All these Michigan guys. Heck yeah.
Yeah, two of the members are born and bred there in Michigan. I actually lived in Michigan for about a little over a year. So yeah, we're all Michigan boys in one way or another.
Very cool. So how long has Sintonik been around as a band?
Originally, about 9 years. I just joined the project. The project's been revamped over the past year. All new members, except for Kevin. We all pretty much came together, Kevin and I. As you may not know, I used to be in a band called Frequency 54 out of Flint, Michigan. And after things went separate ways with them, I just kind of went on hiatus for a little while and took a step back from things. I've been doing it for quite a long time, so I decided to take a step back, do the whole family thing, do the normality of life for a while. But, after a while, I started going stir crazy, and I said, I got to do something. I need to back out, I get back on the road. I got to start playing again. Did a couple projects, fell through. And I knew Kevin for quite a few years when I lived in Nashville, and we kind of kept in touch. And just one day out of the blue, I just said, hey, hit him on Facebook. I was like, hey man, what are you doing? Long time no see. Haven't talked to you in a while. What's going on? He gave me the rundown of the project. He was the only member left. He was revamping everything. Had a bunch of tracks in the works, some demos. He kind of shot those over to me, and I said, well, let's do this, man. I like what I heard and everything. So we kept talking, from there on and getting the plan and the structure going of everything. And we decided to piece it together, kind of like a dream team band.
Very cool.
But who's who of musicians who we knew. We both of us came up with a list of people that we knew. From our top top of the list all the way down. We just went through and, of course we contacted the ones we wanted the most, and it turned out to be Chris Castro, Anthony Maddox, and Marcus Wells, and here we are right now.
Very good. So how often are you guys able to get together and practice and such?
We do a lot via internet, emailing each other. We practice that way. We shoot each other ideas. Since we're all, located in different areas, Anthony Maddox and Kevin Owen live in Nashville. Myself, I'm in West Virginia. Of course, Chris and Marcus are up there in Michigan. So we just do everything that way. We've been together. We've got together a couple of times over the past few months, piecing everything together, getting guitar parts, bass parts, drum parts, everything. Make sure everything's clicking. Make sure everything's, everybody's in agreement with how things are going. And I think come tomorrow, it'll be our first. Everybody will be, we've gotten together separately. I've been with Chris, I've been with Anthony together for a weekend. Marcus just recently joined. He hasn't met up with the band yet, but he learned all the tracks really quick. So tomorrow we all head to Nashville, and Monday will be our first full band rehearsal to get ready for tour. we just decided that, when Kevin and I started talking, we decided that to be in a band, we don't have to live in the same, we don't have to live right down the street from each other.
Right.
That's all been done before in high school. We're all professionals. We've done this for many years. We're not going to make anybody relocate to do this thing. 'Cause, nothing's ever set in stone with a band. Something can always happen, knock on wood. There's always that what-if factor.
No doubt.
So, and I've been uprooted before for Frequency from Nashville to Michigan. That was a culture shock right there. But it was good to be back up north, being originally from New York. And when that band happened to come to an end, I was stuck somewhere where I didn't mind being, but I didn't belong there. As much as I love Michigan, don't get me wrong, but I had no family there. So, and to make someone else do that, to uproot and relocate somewhere else for a band on a whim, like I said, anything can happen. I'm not going to uproot other members and their families to come to a different area and start their lives over again. So we just decided, hey, let's do it like the professionals do it, since we're all, professionals. And, the big-time bands out there now, they do it separately. They live in different states. They live across the country. They live across the globe. And they Skype each other. They internet each other. They work all their tracks out that way. So we just decided to do it that way as well.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of technologies these days. I mean, you can live. Heck, I've talked to bands that live in different countries and they still make it work. So.
Right.
Yep.
That's what we decided to do.
So I know you have this tour coming up that starts on March 1st. So why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
It's called the Re-Evolution Tour. We came up with that. We were shooting around tour names. We thought we came up with that as of like we're all new to this project, starting fresh, kind of like reinventing ourselves, a re-evolution of everything. So we came up with that idea. And we start Friday, March 1st in Indianapolis, Indiana. I couldn't tell you the venue right offhand. I don't have my list in front of me of where we're going to be. But we go all month long, and our last show, I know for a fact, was in Clarksville, Tennessee, on March 30th. And we're taking out, so we have a direct support. They're a new band on the scene. I think this is their first tour, so to speak. They're called Unforsaken, out of Indiana, I believe it is. So we're all excited. They're very excited to get on the road for the first time, and we're all excited to have them with us. And it should be a good time. It's going to be a long month. And none of us have been on the road for a little bit, so we're all kind of nervous, anxious, excited, scared. You name it. We're just fired up, ready to go, and see what happens. Do what we do, and take it to the limit.
Yep, very good. And I'm looking at the schedule right now. It's a very ambitious tour. You have almost every single night you're playing a show, so that's cool.
Yeah, I think we have 20 or so confirmed dates out of 30, somewhere around there, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Looks like 22 on the list.
22. That's pretty much every night.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
Back to back. I think there's a day off here or there, and it kills me because a lot of people are like, "Oh, it's not a job," and we're like, when you're day in, day out, back to back, show after show, even though it's an hour long, you put as much as you got into that hour set, and you pack up, get on the bus, do a little bit of rest, and do it all over again.
Right, exactly. I mean, you got to set up, you do your show, then you got to break down, then you go, like you said, you hop on the bus and go to your next town, and then start all over again. That's just like a job, no doubt.
Exactly, and the only thing, pretty much different is we don't get to shower every day. Like, if you have a normal job, you get to come home and shower. We're on a bus with baby wipes and 4 other stinking men sweating all over each other. The smell of the bus. But it's good times. It's fun, and this is what we love to do. So.
Very good. Okay, so you sent me 3 tracks and actually played them on air live today, this afternoon, actually. And are those where do those come from? Are they off of a full-length album, an EP? What's up with those?
They were just they were going to be an EP when Kevin and the old members. Those were just an EP. And that never really got pushed. So now we're reinventing, re-evolving everything, and we're taking Inside My Dreams. We're going to push that now on radio. It's going to be our newest single, and that's going to end up on the full-length album. Scheduled to come out sometime this spring, midsummer. We're looking at should be good. We have a few radio stations that are picking it up now. So we're going to see how it goes. It's the first time it's been on the radio, and we'll see what happens with it.
All right. Well, very cool. I wish you the best of luck, and it's a killer track. I dig it. So
Thank you.
I hope other people will as well. So have you already been to the studio?
I have a little bit. We have all the metadata from those tracks.
Okay.
We individually, I pieced a few tracks in there, and everybody's put their little bits in there themselves. So it's all been done in a studio. I think that one was recorded with Brett Tesla, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
And we worked with him and Hugo Ferrer from Tantric as well. So songs come from two different producers. So I believe that one was from Brett Tesla, and recorded it in his studio, and we just took it. And as we brought new members in, they get their own take on it. They get their own, they put their own takes on it, their own flair. So if something needs to be changed, we all have the original tracks to it where we can change things. And what you have now is pretty much the final product of that.
Okay, well, very good. Well, I definitely look forward to the full-length album, and please make sure you send me the full. If you can, send me all the MP3s from that so I can play them.
Oh, we definitely will, for sure.
Because the one thing I do, and the one thing that's great about internet radio, is when a band sends me an album and I dig it, I can play the whole thing on my show. So it's very cool.
That's awesome. I kind of find out a lot of internet radio guys, they tend to play the whole album, which is cool. A lot of radio stations won't do that. They'll do like a double shot, like 2 songs off an album or 2 different albums. But I respect the internet radio. You guys will play the whole album and give everybody an insight of the whole album before they even, it's a way for people to listen to it when they buy it. Because a lot of albums today they do a lot of digital downloads. You might get a single or 2, which is cool. A lot of physical copies aren't sold that much today, and to go out and buy an album nowadays, you're taking a risk without hearing the whole thing.
Right, exactly. And I personally, I still love buying CDs. So I look forward to when bands like you guys, when this actual CD comes out, because I do buy a lot myself personally.
Oh, I do too. I do love the digital downloads as well, but just to have that physical copy saying, hey, I've got that. And I had CDs from throughout the years of bands that I've met, musicians that I've met from those bands, and I'm like, hey, I got this copy, would you please sign it for me? Just for like the memento, the nostalgia of it, just to have that physical copy. It means a lot to a lot of people and our fans. When I've been on the road in the past and we've been on the road, people ask for that physical copy. They love to have that in their hand. They love to have you sign it. Things like that. They just love it. So we're going to do both, really. We're going to do, digital downloads, the iTunes, CD Babies, the Amazon. And we're going to have a physical copy as well for everybody.
Yep, very good. And so when you're on this tour next month, do you have merchandise and stuff available for the fans when they're there?
We do. We have, we're going to take some of these tracks and put them on a small EP. We'll have those for sale. We'll have some T-shirts. Some jewelry. I have some jewelry I've had made for myself. I have personal guitar picks, made some necklaces, earrings. Other guitar players are doing that as well. We have drumsticks for sale. You name it, we're going to have it. We're at those show posters. We'll have those for sale as well. Stickers. Pretty much, we have some merch. It's going to grow as we go.
Right.
All sorts of things up for sale.
Okay, well, very good. And everybody, if you're listening to this interview and you make it to a show, buy some merchandise, help support the band, because it's not cheap for what they do. So,
definitely
help the guys out.
Yeah, exactly. That $10-20 actually goes a long way with us.
No doubt in my mind. And again, that's why I like to. When I find bands I like, I'll just say, hey, give me a link or something to buy your CD. And it kind of goes back to what you were saying earlier, and I always wait, hey, do you guys mind signing it, when you send it to me? And they're like, I don't care. Usually I get asked, we're going to have to open it. I'm like, yeah, I don't care. That's fine.
Right, yeah, and a lot of people don't mind that. I've seen a lot of people and a lot of bands do pre-orders where they'll sign it and send it to you. But some people actually don't want to open it. I found a few people that don't want to open it. They want you to sign the cellophane wrapping. So they just want to keep it that way. But they'll buy 2 copies, which is cool.
Oh, yeah, that's cool. That's a good way, too.
Yeah, so that helps as well.
Yep.
I guess nowadays, when you buy something that could be possibly collectible, they want to keep it fresh in the package. The value goes up more. Say we were to take off, which I'm sure we will. That CD that's unopened with our signatures will actually be worth more than the open copy eventually.
Right, but hopefully people are doing. Me personally, for example, when I ask a band to sign a CD, I'm not even thinking, oh my God, this might be worth $1,000 in 10 years. I could care less about that. I just like it to add to my collection, so I can say, hey, I got Sintonik, and they signed the CD for me.
Right. And like I said, they'll do it both ways too. They'll even buy 2 copies, have you open them up, sign them, and some they'll take 1 copy and put them in a frame or something, and
right.
The other copy to play in their CD players and things like that.
Yep, very cool. Okay, so this question is really specifically for you. What kind of influences have you had in your life that made you want to get into this kind of business and do what you do?
A wide variety, really. I grew up listening to. It's weird. I grew up listening to R&B, the old. I grew up listening to old Motown, things like that. And when I was 8 years old, my grandmother gave me my first Kiss album on vinyl.
Nice.
Love Gun was the album. And I played that every day. I wore Gene Simmons makeup. I just fell in love with that. I wore that record out. And it went from there. I remember being in 4th grade, I saw back when they sold the little folders for school in a drugstore back home in New York. I saw a folder and it had 4 weird-looking guys on it with an upside-down pentagram. Didn't know what it was at the time, but it looked cool. And it turned out to be Motley Crue, Shut the Devil, and I just fell in love with that as well. I'm like, oh, cool, Motley Crue, Kiss. I branched out into the rock scene. From there, with that, along with Southern rock, I grew up listening to old Southern rock, Skinner, and then I branched in, I found Metallica in I won't get the exact date, but 1980 something. I came into Metallica. So, Gene Simmons, Geddy Lee from Rush, Mickey Six from Motley Crue, Cliff Burton, and Jason Newsted from Metallica. Those became my influences. I started off, I wanted to be, a guitar player when I was a kid. But I loved the way Gene Simmons looked when I first found out about Kiss. But I didn't make it as a guitar player. A lot of people joke about it, failed guitar players and, becoming bass players. I laugh at that, but I take the bass very seriously. I just fell in love with it. And here I am today, rocking that bass out. I just love it.
Very cool, and thanks for sharing that. I appreciate that.
All right, no problem. I love talking about it.
So where did the band come up, if you know, where did the band come up with the name Sintonik for the band?
I believe Kevin and his brother, Randy Owen, the original bass player for Sintonik, they came up with that name. If I'm not mistaken, it's an Indian, Native American term to become one with yourself. I may be misquoting that. as far as I know, that's where it comes from. A lot of people will sit there and go, "Oh, Sintonik, you guys are death metal or something to do with the devil." No, we're really not. Again, it's to be one with yourself. We're more of a we're a peaceful man. We're all cool guys to get along with. We don't preach, all that kind of stuff. We try to stay positive, even though everything kind of sounds dark, but it does have positive messages. We're not out to preach anything really. We're just out to preach what we feel in our hearts to write, and put out there for everybody to listen to, and kind of become familiar with that. They can relate to it, things like that, so to speak.
Yeah, right on, man. Very good. So speaking of writing and stuff, what is the process for you guys? Is there one person in the band that pretty much does all the writing, or is it more collaborative? How do you guys do that?
Kevin he gets a lot of ideas flowing. I'm not much of a writer. I do write, but when I do, it's very far and few between. I like to piece together stuff after it's been written. I'll throw my own inputs in things. So he's done a lot of the writing. Anthony does the writing as well, and we each shoot each other ideas. They'll shoot me the ideas over internet. They'll email them to me, and we'll email them to each other, and we'll pick out certain parts. We'll add certain parts. We'll take out certain parts. Rewrite certain parts, things like that. So, I mean, we all kind of collaborate as one. Somebody will start it, but we'll all end up finishing it.
Okay, sounds like a good process.
It is, and it brings us to a whole, really. We all write, so we can say, hey, we all wrote this, and there's not one in particular person writing the whole song. So we like to have everybody included in it.
Okay, very good. Where is a good place for people to go to find out more about Sintonik? What social networking and website kind of stuff do you guys have out there?
We have an EPK on ourpage.com, Sintonik, Facebook, /Sintonik Official, and Reverb Nation, Sintonik.
Okay, go there, check these guys out, because pretty sure on your Facebook page there's some tracks people can listen to too, right?
Yeah, I think those are a couple of different tracks from what I sent you, all except for Inside My Dreams, because we are pushing that one
right
for radio play. But there are a couple of different ones on there that people can check out, listen to, and get familiar with it. Whether those end up on the album, we don't know, so those might be just rare B-side tracks that you can only hear on Facebook or Reverb Nation.
Okay, very cool. Okay, here's another question kind of specifically for you. If I grabbed your iPod, your MP3 player, your record player, whatever your preference of listening to music is, what music would I find you listening to right now?
You'll hear a lot of stuff. Michael Jackson, Motley Crue, Kiss, Metallica, LMFAO, I think it is, Beatles. I do have a couple of Justin Bieber tracks on there. Don't kill me, guys. I'm sorry. I just like, I like the songs. I don't like him. Just pretty much anything that I think sounds good. I don't like to label things. I don't stereotype music. To me, if it sounds good, I'm going to put it on my iPod, regardless.
I love that you just said that, because this is something I'm constantly preaching to people, or at least trying to sway them, is I cannot stand when people put labels on music either. I think that, just like you said, if you hear a piece of music, regardless of genre, regardless of artist, if you think it sounds good, that's all that matters. Nothing else matters.
Exactly. You might put shuffle on my iPod. You'll get from Kiss to the next song. It'll be a Justin Bieber song, then to a Michael Jackson song, then to a Motley Crue, and then to like a Slayer, Metallica, an Eminem song. It's all on there.
Yeah, and the other thing that I've found with all the interviews I've done and the bands I've talked to, it seems like the bands that have, the members of the bands that have a nice wide range of musical tastes, they create such great music because they don't lock themselves into one style, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Exactly. We don't narrow ourselves down to, you have your metal bands, you have your rock bands, you have your R&B, hip hop, rap groups, pop bands, and things like that, and they're all stuck in that genre. You get like a lot of rock artists. Take Aaron Lewis, good friend of mine from Spain. He tried to convert to country. He did a great job, don't get me wrong, but then it's kind of hard to break over into that aspect of it, of it all. So we just tend to take a collaborate everything, and we have a wide variety of ways we can write things.
Yeah, very good, very good. And I love Stain, by the way.
Great man. He's also one of the most humblest men I've ever met. So.
Yeah, very cool. Okay, so I kind of already have a sense of this, but I always ask, what will define success for you guys? Where do you hope to be in a couple years?
Couple of years, just still doing what I'm doing, playing music. It's not all about the fame and the money anymore. It's just out there doing it for everybody, making a comfortable living at doing what you love to do. Record labels nowadays, they're scarce. They're hard to work with. They're hard to break into that big record label. So everybody's doing a lot of indie stuff. To me, it can, either way. I don't care. None of us care really. We just want to make a living at it. The 9-to-5 jobs, we've all done those. We just want to play music and be comfortable and have a life playing music. Be able to support our families just playing. Giving the people, the fans and our friends and family members of what they want. We're living our dream, so to speak, and we're making our life with just playing music. If I could just play the rest of my life and not have to worry about anything else other than playing music, cool. Am I going to be on MTV or VH1 or something like that? It really doesn't matter to me. As long as I'm out there on the road playing live for everybody, and that's all I have to do, I'm cool with that.
Okay, well, I definitely wish you guys the best of luck and success with all that. And I have to say that I'll probably never see on MTV because I don't think they play videos anymore.
No, they have shows like Teen Mom 2.
Exactly, that's the rage, Stupid crap.
Which is actually filmed here in the area I live in. We're not all like that, people. Just let me clarify that. So you do find videos every now and then, but you get more videos off of YouTube now. So
Definitely. That's the place.
I think YouTube's the way to go nowadays.
Yep, definitely. And you can really keep a good track of how many people actually watch it too that way.
Exactly. So there's so many more avenues to take other than MTV and VH1, and I don't think anybody really cares about that stuff anymore unless you're a little, you're a young teenager who wants to watch some crazy reality TV.
Yeah, no doubt.
There's nothing wrong with that, don't get me wrong.
No, to each their own, definitely.
Yeah, I tend to flip through it and go, well, let me see what that's all about. And I just laugh at it, but
right.
There's something to do when you're on the bus or you're at home sitting there doing nothing.
Yep, exactly. Okay, so what sets Sintonik apart from all the other bands out there? Why should people come to your shows? You're going to be, on tour here, so why should people come out and watch you guys? What kind of experience are they going to get watching you guys live?
They're going to get a good rock experience. There's a lot of bands out there right now. I know a few of them. They're all doing their thing. They're doing great. They're doing very well, actually. But we like to set ourselves aside from all that, and they're more, let's say, how I want to word it correctly here. They're more of a mold, so to speak. They're all put together. They all sound the same. And that's where a lot of bands fall into that trap where they're like a cookie cutter, so to speak. They're all molded from the same mold, from the same cast. So they're all going to sound the same. We sound different. Kevin has a rasp to his voice. although it's been compared to Tantric a little bit, only because we've worked with Hugo, and it doesn't sound like it a little bit, which is not a bad thing, but we tend to just take that a little bit more from what these bands are doing and just veer off a little bit and make our own.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, when I listen to you guys, and from a fan perspective, I hear a little, you know, I hear the rock, I hear a little, you know, touch of metal in there, and I also hear some, especially with your singer's voice, I hear a little bit of grunge. I love the mix, the way it sounds.
Yeah, he's got that voice. You know, he's been smoking forever and a day, which is not a good thing, kid. But you know, he brings out that aspect of it, and you can hear everybody's influences in the songs.
Yep, definitely.
Like you said, you got the metal in there with the little screaming accents. You got the straight up rock in there, and you got his raspy grunge voice, and it all comes together as one.
It does. It sounds really good. And before I forget, because I will if I don't say it right now, I want to give a big, huge shout-out and thank you to Shauna O'Donnell for hooking me up with you guys. She is amazing, and she rocks.
She is awesome, and I thank her very much for coming aboard with us. I contacted her a few months back. I've known her through the grapevine, and she's been grateful enough to jump aboard on this project, and it's going great so far, and I love that she's on board and doing this for us.
Yeah, she has done me so well. I tell you what, when she sends me you know, and says, "Hey, I have this band I need you to hear and possibly interview," I don't even hesitate. I'm like, send the tracks, they'll make my show. I mean, I don't even question, because I just know she's going to send me good stuff. So.
Oh, right on. She knows how to pick, and she knows the band she works with.
Well, yeah, and the cool thing for me, the working relationship we have, is she knows the kind of music I like. So if she's working with a band that she knows isn't my style, she doesn't even send them to me. So it works well.
It does, and she's been, like I said, she's been a great help with this band and things like that, and she's just totally awesome.
Yep.
She does a great job.
Okay, so what's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a live show? And I guess it doesn't necessarily matter what band that experience happened with.
I got a couple. I'll leave all the bras and panties out of that one. But no, I opened up in a band. We opened up for Jackal one night. This was years ago, and something happened where Jackal, Jesse James, couldn't use his chainsaw for the chainsaw song. And the fire marshal didn't allow him to use it, so he threw a fit. We all know how Jesse James is. Not knocking you if you listen to this, dude. I love you, buddy. And we become friends after that incident anyway. But, so we got all done on a shape. He threw a fit, canceled the show, pretty much took their money and left. So as we're pulling in to load up, we're being told by the promoter that, hey, we have to fill an almost 3-hour show.
Oh, wow.
And we're like, there's a sold-out crowd of 1,000 people, I believe, at this venue. And we're like, oh, okay. So luckily we had a couple albums under our belt, and we're like, we made it stretch out. But as the show went on, me being a dick as I was back then, have a few beers in me, I started making fun of Jackal on the microphone, you know, screaming like meow meow that he used to do on that song. And I kept doing it, and my drummer, I remember him saying, "Hey, cut it out." I turn on, I'm like, why? He's like, Jesse James is right there. And they happened to walk, him and the guitar player happened to walk in and just stand there and watch the show. Well, I turned back around, threw him the middle finger, and he yowled in the microphone and said, "Fuck you." So that didn't go too well afterwards, but we all had fun in the end, and me and him got along after that.
Well, that's good that you ended up becoming friends with him after that. That's cool.
Yeah, it was good times in the process.
Yeah. Very cool. Okay, so with Sintonik now, is there anybody that in the band that, and I don't even know if you know because you haven't really done this yet, but is there anybody that's going to be a big mirror hog before a show?
Oh, it's probably going to be me. No, my fiance, she'll test that. I love to stand in the mirror and check myself out. I don't know. I think we'll all probably end up fighting for that mirror on the bus.
Sweet.
We're just weird like that. Marcus in his long dress down to his ass, or Maddox. We call him Maddox. His last name Anthony. Anthony's his first name, but we call him Maddox. So he's got that Justin Bieber kind of look. So we pick on him with that, and he might be the first one to primp himself in front of the mirror and kind of hog it up. But I'm sure we'll all end up fighting for that mirror spot before we go on.
All right, cool, man. Okay, is there anything else you would like to tell the world, anybody that'll listen to this interview, about Sintonik that I haven't asked you?
Just come check us out. If you like us, let us know. If you hate us, let us know. News is news to us. We love it. So come out and check it out. Have a good time with us.
Okay, very good. And one thing I forgot to ask you about your Facebook page. Are you guys pretty good at responding to fans on there?
We are. It might take a minute to get back to you, but we do get on there and talk to everybody we can. Each of us will get on there and take turns, and we'll talk to people. If you send us a message, we'll talk to you. You hit us up to say something, one of us will respond back to you. We don't have a problem with that. We love getting on Facebook. We love talking to people wherever we're at, individually or together. Come see us on the road. Come knock on our bus door. Not too early in the morning, though. But come knock on our bus door if you want to hang out.
So nothing before noon?
Yeah, nothing before noon. A friend of ours in another band definitely knock on their bus door at like 9 o'clock in the morning. Boy, they threw a fit about that, but it was funny to everybody else. But no, we love when people come, knock on our doors. We're not going to do one of those bands where, you can't come on our bus. You can't come say hi. We're on our bus right now. We need to sit here and hang out and have our own time. No, just if you see the lights on the bus and people are coming on and off the bus, just feel free to come knock on the door and come hang out and say hi or something. Just all we have to be respectful of the bus and what we're doing.
Right.
And not tear anything up or try to stay on there all night long, But
or drink all your beer.
Yeah, or drink all our beer. We'll have a big problem if you drink all our. Well, you can probably drink all our beer. We'll probably have some PBR or something stashed in the side. Let's say it's all we have, but we'll probably have some liquor bottles hidden away somewhere where you won't be able to touch. But yeah, just come hang out, have a good time. Come check us out at the show. Talk to us all you want. We're there. That's what we're there for. We don't mind talking to people. We're all about it.
Very good. Okay, I have one last thing to ask you to do before I let you go, and I would love a couple radio tags made if you don't mind.
Okay.
So the first one you can say, this is Derek from Sintonik, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
All right, this is Derek from Sintonik, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
Okay, perfect. And then the second one, I always have to have a personalized one for my show. So say the exact same thing, but that you're listening to DJ REM at Rock Addict Radio.
DJ REM?
Yep.
Well, this is Derek from Sintonik, and you're listening to DJ REM at rockaddictradio.com.
Okay, very cool, dude. Totally appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today. And like I said, within the next weekish, I will have this all edited. Actually, there's not going to be much to edit from this one, which is cool. And I will have it uploaded to YouTube, and I'll get you the link, and we can promote and spread the word.
Sounds good, man. And check back with us anytime you want, man. Feel free to give me a call, send me a text, shoot me an email or something on Facebook, and we'll, keep in touch for sure.
Oh, I definitely will. And like I mentioned, I already played those songs that you sent me today on the station, and I actually run we're 24/7 streaming, and I actually run that stream from my house. I actually have a second internet line just for running the stream for the station. But anyways, now that I've played you, you're actually in the 24/7 stream, so those 3 tunes will be playing at least once a day now.
Awesome. Sounds great, man. Thank you very much.
Yep, no problem. Yeah, and make sure you tell everybody else in the band I said hello, please, if you would.
Oh, definitely. I sure will. Not a problem. I'll do that as soon as I get off with you, man.
Okay. Cool, man. Well, thanks again. Take care and have a great tour.
All right, great. Thank you very much. Have a
Yep.
good weekend.
You too. Bye.
Bye.